Good day, everybody. This is Sanjeev Mehra, and we have with us Captain Rakesh Singh from Ashri Shipping. Captain Rakesh Singh is the Managing Director at Ashri Shipping, and he is also the General Secretary of Indian Coastal Ship Owners Association. Ashri Shipping is basically into ship operations and ship management, and they have a lot of vessels for inland waterways also, which they are operating. They are also into dredging. Captain Rakesh Singh, coming to COVID-19, what do you see happening now in the present? What difficulties you are facing now, and how you think is the way forward? So basically, the four topics that we would like you to highlight on are from the owner's perspective. That's one. Second is operational difficulties. Third is technical problems that you are facing, basically giving spare parts or service engineers to the vessels. And fourth main thing is seafarers. So over to you, Captain Sir.
Yeah, Sanjeev, thank you very much. Yes, Sanjeev, as I mentioned, that problems are more or less same on all types of marine crafts. The size varies from the degree of the problem can only vary with the size, but otherwise the nature of the problems remain same. In inland vessel category, right now the scenario is of lockdown, so nothing is moving. All our ships, wherever they are stopped because they're not being permission to move. 50% of the trade of inland vessel is between far northeast and Calcutta, and where the vessels have to pass through the Bangladesh water. And like India, Bangladesh is also going through the lockdown. The movements have been banned. So ships are where they are stuck at the moment, whether loaded or empty. So the first and foremost problem is that when the official permission by Indian government, Indian state governments, because inland water is a concurrent list business. It is controlled by government of India as well as state governments. So first of all, to have actually the permissions in place to start trading these vessels. So at the moment, that's the biggest challenge. We are looking forward to government probably tomorrow making an announcement and whereby facilitating the movements of these vessels, subject to precautions that everyone is taking against COVID-19. So this is the first and the foremost thing that we have. We want our ships to be safe at the same time trading. Now, this is easier said than done under the circumstances. The ships are very small in size. About almost 9 to 10 crew members live in a very confined space. Number of seafarers sharing one room. So social distancing on these vessels really is a far cry. Practically, we do provide them masks and ask them to wash their hands and sanitizer, ask them to take their temperatures every 2 days, etc., etc. But unlike bigger ships where probably everyone has one cabin to himself or herself, it's not possible here. So the working space, the living space, everything is so confined that luxury does not exist. So we are looking forward to, and we're requesting government at all levels that sooner we have that rapid COVID testing facility all over India at a reasonable cost and readily available, so that we could start sending everyone for the COVID test. One way of ensuring that an infected person or asymptomatic carrier of COVID virus does not go on board the ship. That's the first part of answer question. The second question, I think, relates to, from the ship owner's point of view, the crisis that we are undergoing in terms of financial crisis. And as I earlier mentioned, that we have to learn to live with this coronavirus. It's not going to go away so easily. This is the view prevailing at highest level in government or also at industry level, that we are not going to see in 1 month or 2 months or even for 3 months that this is going to go away. All we will have is rapid testing system readily available, like the same crisis we had when we had HIV infection spreading, and then the test kits were available, and everyone joining the vessel could be sent for the test. That will be one thing. And second thing, hopefully, I don't know, in a year's time, 6 months' time, and vaccine is available. So business is going to go through very, very rough patch for sure, in terms of more checks, more stringent regulations, etc., etc. So it's all going to add to our cost. what I understand, the government probably would open airline sector with 30% capacity operation. That means for every 3 seat, only one passenger will be allowed. You could well imagine where the freights will go. Same thing is going to be train. I believe the government is saying the middle seat will not be occupied till we are facing with this COVID crisis. So all this is going to add to our cost. Same the suppliers, service providers are going to be difficult. So one of our very main requests from the government of India has been for inland vessel is to bring the inland vessel under tonnage tax regime. To bring one of our outstanding requests with government of India with respect to inland vessels has been to bring inland vessels under tonnage tax regime like Merchant Shipping Act vessel. We all have an option to opt for tonnage tax scheme and we are not subjected to corporate taxation scheme. Now this subject is pending at Ministry of Shipping level, and Ministry has written to the Finance Ministry, and it requires little amendment to the Income Tax Act. This would infuse a lot of capital in this business because as per the government study, once Sagar Mala becomes operational, the government estimates will require 2,000 inland vessels on Indian coast and in Indian waters. But to have that kind of a tonnage available will require serious capital investment. And serious capital investment, where the capex is high or the taxation is high, is a great deterrent. So apart from requesting government for soft loan or treating the industry as infrastructure industry for deferring the taxation by 5 years or 7 years as government deem fit, the key point is to bring this industry under tonnage tax rule like merchant shipping vessels we have. As regard to crew change, services, etc., the surveys, delays, the ship owners are forced to go for exemption. This is not one of the cases where we, by some design or some business compulsion, we are delaying the dry docking and surveys and asking for exemptions. We are forced to go for exemption. We have already told DG Shipping, and we have already told organizations like Indian Register of Shipping, so kindly do away with the fee that you are charging for exemption, which we are seeking because of COVID-19, not because of our own design or some poor planning. These are the things, Sanjeev, anything specific you have, I could answer.
Sir, you mentioned dredging also, and in dredging also is affected the same way?
Well, dredging, the dredging is of two types, Sanjeev. One is the dredging which is done by marine craft, which we popularly call trailer suction hopper dredges. We are managing 3 trailer suction hopper dredges. They are very much like ships. So the problems that are with the ships are also with the trailer suction. The only good point about dredges are that you don't interact with the labor of port, right, contract. Orders is minimum. The standards of hygiene and social distancing is much better on these ships. But the problems which are faced by marine crafts are faced by them also. Then there is a second side type of dredging, which is called capital dredging, which is done by normal pontoons and machineries and plants and equipment, which is more a shore-based operation, and you are in contact with laborers and contract laborers, a variety of people who come on board, and project managers, etc., civil contractors coming. So it's the same thing. But we have, in fact, today only, we have had a conference call with the Directorate, and we have requested Directorate to request Ministry of Home Affairs. If you do recall, 2 days back, Ministry of Home Affairs came up with an order, very specific order, clearly worded and very elaborate, listing out what is fishery industry is and what all is exempted under the fishery industry, which takes care of not only fishing activity, but the support services, supplies, the crew, related service providers. We just requested that if MHA can come up with a half-page directive. The problem today is the shipping has been dealt under the transport category. Now, it is a transportation system, but unfortunately, it's got its own intricacies. As you said, we have series of things need to be done, starting from surveyors to suppliers, service engineers, ship chandler to God knows what all. So we have requested, and I hope in a day or so it should come, government is waiting for tomorrow's declaration on lockdown, that a half-page clear declaration for MHA stating each and every small aspect of ship operation and ship running, and exempting all those operations from the exemptions, which would include even a ship chandler going to a small or a big vessel supplying, or service engineer going or returning from the ship, from service engineer, or a taxi going to drop a person to the ship and coming back. So we hope that in a day or two, we'll have a separate notice for entire marine fraternity, so that we could take it and explain it to the local authorities. Local authorities are the biggest hurdle in absence of clearly worded instruction from now.
Okay, understand. So that was very nice. Thank you for your inputs, Captain Singh. I hope we can take it further. Thanks a lot, sir.
Sure, Sanjeev. Thanks for having. Thank you, Sanjeev. Thanks always. Bye-bye.